What's good, YouTube? And welcome to White DUSTON Supremacy. This is not a joke, this is actually getting bought out as we speak. Massive quantities of this is going like 30 at 40 cents, 30 at 40 cents, so it's not ridiculous price or anything yet. But this turns out that it's the only vanilla light fiend in the game that can be summoned by unexpected die. Unexpected Die has found its way into many metagames. The super rare first editions are also starting to sell a little, and Fiendsmith is a serious deck that people are pogging over, and it has a Link 1, so not eating your normal summon into that, and playing a vanilla in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which top decks are no stranger to those kind of garnets. Turns out it looks like we're headed that direction, maybe a little bit for the deck, but always test before you invest. Make sure you want to be bricking with this before you're playing it, and be aware that it is currently actually moving in massive quantities. Instant Fusion Ultimate Rare is going up, as I understand this is a pretty good option as well for Infernoid coming up, but I do want to say it would be very interesting if this found its way also into Rarity Collection 2. We've seen cards like this take massive hits and then recover over time, but the timing of this continuing to go up and up in price, and it being a beautiful card too, it will be interesting to watch how the market actually adapts on its high-end cards after already seeing stuff like Infinite Impermanence rebound, and where this would head if there's a reprint. But that's still massive speculation on how tight Konami has their head screwed on into the reprint game of that set. Speaking of massive speculation, Chaos Ruler the Chaotical Magical Dragon is still a pretty expensive card for its secret rare, and it's hanging on there around $8. Now, this is, of course, down over time, but people saying, I've been looking at this, I've been waiting to buy it. This is what banless speculation does to a Yu-Gi-Oh card, especially in its highest rarity. I don't see it coming down anytime soon, even when the next banlist doesn't have it. We saw this floor for Thunder Dragon forever, right, where it would continue to spike up with each anticipation of a banlist, and people also did compare it in the Discord to, well, Fairy Tail Snow. Konami, played around with that a good amount, and it could have its time coming back at some point, but it's just so freaking powerful. But banlists, as always, are already speculation in a heavily speculatory market like Yu-Gi-Oh! So do be aware of that, as well as Bonfire, speaking of banlist speculation, being at its lowest price pretty much period available, all the way down towards $72, top rated 73 euro print, 74 all over here. So I did not think I would see this card too far under like $88 when I saw the initial price spikes and how the metagame was going, but a lot of people have got their invites. So I would think that with a spring banlist, it's unlikely to hit all the fire decks. We're still speculating on that, but look at the past banlists. The major decks that have been gone, we talked about this in the Discord before I did this video, Super Heavy Samurai most recently, Prank Kids, but could they really be stamping out every fire deck hard enough for Bonfire not to get grabbed as people prepare for a WCQ? It'll be very interesting to watch what happens, but I really do think this will be going back up in the next ban list. But again, not a financial advisor. I don't know the future of the ban list card prices, but I have seen a lot of trends that Konami's done over the years, and Konami can always just go buck wild too. We have Freezing Chain structure decks actually up in price over time, and multiple of the cards getting bought out, as we have, I believe, Ice Barrier support in the future of the game. So be aware, the unique cards to this structure deck, like we have the Freezing Chains here, the Speaker, they're all just going lower on quantity and up in price slowly, and have been creeping up. So you might have more money in your bulk than you thought, and don't let these go too cheap. Spiritual Beast and Ritual Beast, however you say that, Spiritual Beast. These have been going up for some time. I did call them as penny stonks a while ago, and they are indeed continuing to stonk. So be aware, Winda, as well as the Kamun Falcos, is up in price. Drytron got new support, and when new support drops, prices go, and of course this is no exception. Drytron Nova and Medionis Drytron for both the Ultra Rare and Collector Rare are up, and some of the rituals are going down in quantity, up in price, especially in the Collector Rare range. We did see reprints for most everything else in the deck, but yeah, be aware, they're way up in price. Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max is something I never get tired of saying, and it's up in price for the Jump Ultra Rare, as well as its Lart pretty big, and this is for Yubel decks and having the option to burn 2,000. So do be aware that this is far up in price, and whenever I see this go up, I start to check on the other pieces, and of course, Lieb is also up there. Now, somebody in my Discord actually said, yeah, the bad players will be playing Lieb. I'm not so sure. Just being able to rank it up on top if you're already playing this seems like a good idea to me usually, and the market also agrees to that train of thought. Yeah, I said that. Secret Rare is up in price. Ultra Rare OG is up in price. And then you have the option of a gold letter non-foil Ultra Rare from Maximum Gold Eldorado actually going way down in quantities, and it's over $1 at this point. So again, be organizing your bulk. It's just good to have it in order, and I would have never put this in straight up bulk either personally myself. It's just such a good card. I've said it before, I'll say it again, boring advice, if it's in the Rarity collection and you want it, now's probably a pretty good time as any, and it should have been earlier when I was screaming about it before. But here we continue to see absolute stonks among the 25th anniversary Rarity collection, and when we get to a legacy update to a set, even if it kind of flops, the lead up to it usually spikes things, and it coming out, if the other one's on a pedestal next to it, spikes it even further, like, yeah, that was the good one. And we see here Effect Veiler up towards 90 and quickly 100, then just skyrocketing on this front page. Now, it does have a Starlight Rare, Ultimate Rare OG to compete with, but this version is up, as is pretty much everything in the top end of this set. Ash Blossom lowest around 200, Infinite Impermanence around 100 and selling. Nibiru's big up, but is kind of floundering around to find where its actual sales price will be after its buyout, and that's the case for a lot of these cards, but some people are jumping on and actually spending that money during this hang time. I highly advise to never do that right after a buyout, but people get FOMO. Double down buyouts do happen, but whenever it's a Rarity collection like issue here, there's going to be so many copies of this card because the set is mass open, but people also don't want to take a loss. It's that balance act of waiting just a little bit after a buyout to see the calm before there is that double down that usually happens. But sometimes, especially WCQ season, where people want to bling out their deck as much as possible, they do tend to sometimes go back in, so it is a rough kind of call, and I get why people are kind of squeamish on it. And finally, for past formats, the Breeze Dragon Ultimate Rare is gone, as well as the Turbo Pack Super starting to go, and the Secret Rare is pretty low on quantities, but 5D's collection, it's one of the only legendary collections not to get reprinted into the ground. In fact, I think it only has its first edition, and the dual terminal's under 20 listing. So if you're looking for nice versions of this card, Plant got super popularized because Konami officially recognized it, and this has been going for a bit, but now it's gone even crazier. And when I say officially recognized it, they made it a side event / event for Team YCS, and here we do see it way past gone. And if you have one, maybe you can make a sale listing it in that range under this $200 lister. That being said, thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you enjoy these conversations and different looks and takes on the market, and I seriously enjoy getting to do this every single time I do these. It's like, yes, oh my gosh, there's so much interesting happening in the WCQ season, even if it's like bad, good. I just enjoy digging in and seeing some of the craziest buys of all time.